all of our St. Joseph Parish School families and our faculty and staff and school volunteers, I wish you a very happy Catholic Schools Week. And to all of you as members of our St. Joseph Parish family, I thank you for your passion for and your commitment to our beloved St. Joseph Parish School. In the Gospel this morning, Jesus teaches. He goes back home to Nazareth, and as the Gospel says, as was his custom, every Sabbath he went to the synagogue. He went to his hometown synagogue, and he stood up to do the reading, and he was handed the prophet Isaiah. And he opened the scroll to this very passage and read, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me and has anointed me. He has sent me to proclaim liberty to captives, recovery of sight to the blind, to let the oppressed go free, and to announce a year of favor from the Lord." And the Gospel says he rolled up the scroll, gave it to the attendant, and he sat down. And the eyes of everyone in the synagogue were intently looking at him. And he began to teach. And Jesus said, "Today, this very passage from Scripture is fulfilled in your hearing." Jesus is our teacher, and we try to imitate, to teach as Jesus taught. And a major way that we do that is through our Catholic schools. As the years go on, I am more and more convinced of the irreplaceable value of our Catholic schools in our nation. For one reason, the academics. Our Catholic schools teach excellently. And this is acknowledged especially when we look at urban regions of our diocese, of our nation. How children, whether Catholic or not Catholic, are given a wonderful first-rate education because the academics are excellent. And this is done in some intangible ways as well. We might call it environment or atmosphere. In our Catholic schools, there is an atmosphere of faith and prayer and sacraments and discipline and order and virtue, with a constant acknowledgement of the presence of Jesus Christ in everything, in all of our subjects, in all of our activities, that Christ is with us. These two values, academic excellence and an atmosphere of faith, really spill out to great advantage in our larger community and also to our church family in particular. I am very grateful that we have a Catholic day school as part of our parish family life. Our parish came to be 64 years ago this April, and our St. Joseph Parish Day School came to be a year later, 63 years ago this September. That's how important Catholic school is to our parish. Now, as a pastor, I'm very grateful, but I'll also tell you that a school can be a real challenge. and we can't loaf. To have a Catholic school takes grit and sweat and tears and hard work and sacrifice, and sometimes it can give you a headache and even heartburn. But for me, the bottom line is it's worth it. And when we look around our own community, when we look around the communities of our nation, we see the value of our Catholic schools being promoted by so many people. People in civic life, in business life, in philanthropic life, Catholic and non-Catholic, Christian and non-Christian, believers and non-believers who are passionate about our Catholic schools. But I'd have to tell you, I think sometimes within the Catholic community, we can lose our nerve when it comes to our Catholic schools. I have a fear that sometimes we're living in an atmosphere that wants to say that Catholic schools are really the sole responsibility of parents who have children within them. And if we buy that, then we would go on to say a parish that does not have a Catholic school really has no responsibility to any Catholic school. Or we can also say, if we buy that premise, that parents who have their children in Catholic schools, in parishes that are blessed with Catholic schools, can expect a certain subsidy from the parish to run that school, but that the bulk of the responsibility is on the shoulders of the parents who have children enrolled. And those school families can be looked upon as being, well, a demanding drain on the rest of the parish. Now, that is not a Catholic attitude. Our Catholic tradition, our Catholic practice wants to teach us that our Catholic schools are the responsibility of our entire church. Whether we have a child in the school or not, whether a parish has a Catholic school or not, our Catholic schools are the communal responsibility of the entire church. Cardinal Timothy Dolan, the Archbishop of New York, has an idea that's also a fear of mine, and he describes it this way: a Catholic school mentality, which is the hospice model, saying that our Catholic schools were a wonderful thing to have, but they're on their way out. And we should just maybe hold their hand, make their passing less painful, and keep their memory a grateful one. Kind of a Catholic education hospice mentality. To this I say baloney. We can't live in the hospice mode, we have to live in the hope-filled mode. Otherwise, we're going to enter kind of an academic Darwinism, where the strongest of our Catholic schools are going to survive and the rest are going to fade out and disappear. Well, what can we do? We can do what people before us have done. There's never been a time where Catholic education has been on easy street. Never that position for our Catholic schools. So what do we need to do? We need to do what others have done before us. We need to recover our passion for them. We need to look at the situation with reality. And we need to do some careful and courageous planning for the future. We can't just whine. We've got to trust in God, whose work we do in our Catholic schools. We want to teach as Jesus taught. So we need to put ourselves in the hands of Christ and accept the challenges that he wants us to work with. Now, I outlined a couple of fears about Catholic schools, but I'd have to also tell you I'm not afraid. What do we need to do? We need to embrace our communal responsibility for our Catholic schools. We need to resist the hospice way of thinking towards Catholic education, that they're just simply on their way out. We've got to instead offer hope and a way so that they stay living and vibrant and effective and contribute to our nation as well as to our church. We need to live in reality. We have some challenges before us, so we need to think creatively and courageously and make the decisions, the accommodations that we need to make so that the treasure of our Catholic schools can continue to be available and affordable to everyone who wants to participate in them. Bishop Roger Foys, the Bishop of Covington, Kentucky, had this to say. He says, while there may be many alternatives to Catholic education, there is no substitute for our Catholic schools. He says it well. I can't say it any better. Anyone here today that would like to enroll their son or daughter in our St. Joseph Parish Catholic School will have an opportunity right after this Mass is finished until 12:30 today in our school office. We welcome you. But to everyone today, to all of the members of our St. Joseph Parish family, I want to say thank you. And to all of those who have gone before us, I express my gratitude as pastor of this wonderful parish family. I am grateful that our St. Joseph Parish family is blessed with a Catholic school, our beloved St. Joseph. I thank you. May God bless you, and a very happy Catholic Schools Week to us all.